In 10th place, Oleg Salenko's 5-goal rampage against Cameroon in 1994 rewrote the World Cup record books in just 70 minutes. No player had ever scored more in a single World Cup match. Salenko did it as a last-minute addition to Russia's squad. He was called up just 48 hours before kickoff. The ball that day was a synthetic foam Adidas model, and Salenko later joked it made his low shots stick to the turf like magnets. By halftime, his younger brother had already sent a telegram promising a family feast if Oleg hit a hat trick. Oleg delivered 2 more for good measure. The kicker is that Russia still crashed out in the group stage, which made Salenko the only Golden Boot winner sent home before the knockout stage. As if that was not enough, he played through a hidden hairline foot fracture after his 5th goal, keeping it secret to avoid missing a potential knockout. 5 goals, 1 match, 0 mercy, and an early flight home. Number 9, Kylian Mbappé. Mbappe's World Cup final. Hat trick in Qatar electrified the sport's biggest stage. At just 23, he became only the 2nd player to net 3 goals in a World Cup final, matching a record untouched since 1966. The timeline reads like a teenager's fever dream: a penalty in the 80th minute, a rocket finish 97 seconds later, and another spot kick in extra time that pushed Argentina to the brink. 8 goals across the tournament sealed the Golden Boot. The real twist came after the final whistle: a minor ankle sprain quietly taped up so he could join the celebrations. 10th place, Geoff Hurst's World Cup final hat trick remains a singular feat in football history, a performance so decisive it delivered England's only World Cup title. On July 30th, 1966, Wembley roared as Hurst netted 3 times against West Germany, but the story is richer than the scoreline. His first goal, a sharp turn and shot, leveled the match. Infamous question of whether the ball crossed the line, still debated in pubs and in the living rooms of grandchildren across the UK. Modern goal line technology says yes by millimeters. Hurst's 3rd goal, a thumping finish as fans streamed onto the pitch, sealed a 4-2 extra time win and an immortal place in the record books. No other player held the World Cup final hat trick distinction for 56 years. England's triumph came down to one man's finishing, a controversial bounce, and nerves of steel under the highest pressure imaginable. Number 7, Paolo Rossi's redemption arc in Spain, 1982, reads like a footballing thriller. Just months before the tournament, Rossi was serving a suspension for a doping allegation. An Italian Federation memo cleared him on appeal, but he arrived at the World Cup with doubters everywhere. That all changed in the quarterfinal against Brazil, the tournament favorites, chipped away at Brazil's Samba confidence, and flipped the script for Italy. The match was not just an upset, it was a jailbreak, with Rossi leading the breakout. He finished the tournament with the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball, pouring a celebratory Birra Rossa for his teammates after the final. From banned to beloved, Rossi's 6-goal surge powered Italy to the title and turned a national scapegoat into a legend. Number 6. Oliver Kahn's 2002 World Cup run was a master class in defiance by a goalkeeper, no less. Kahn did not just keep 5 clean sheets on the way to the final. He faced a barrage of 31 shots, and he let only 1 past him in 540 minutes. That single goal was scored by Ronaldo in the final, after Kahn had already racked up 9 saves against Brazil's relentless attack. His save percentage for the tournament hit a staggering 95%, and his goals against average dropped to 0.17 per 90 minutes. Numbers that make even the best strikers jealous. The Golden Ball, usually reserved for goal scorers and midfield maestros, went to Kahn by a clear margin, making him the only goalkeeper ever to claim the award. And to up the drama, he played the final with a torn ligament in his right index finger. Try catching a bullet with a busted hand. Kahn's run is proof that sometimes the most dominant force on the pitch wears gloves, not golden boots. Number 5, Ronaldo Nazario's 2002 World Cup comeback is pure football cinema. Just 3 months before kickoff, he was limping out of knee surgery, and Brazilian newspapers ran daily updates on whether he'd even walk without pain, let alone sprint. By the time the final arrived, Ronaldo had already bagged 6 goals, but the real redemption arc played out against Germany. And then, with a clinical finish that left Oliver Kahn, the tournament's top keeper, rooted to the spot, he finished with 8 goals, the Golden Boot, and a title for Brazil. His Nike Air Zoom boots hit a shock-absorbing plate, a secret weapon for a man whose knee was still on a physiotherapist's watch list. After the final whistle, he whispered "Sempre frio" to his captain. From injury doubts to world champion, Ronaldo's 2002 run is the gold standard for comeback stories. Number 4, Pele's 1958 World Cup final is the birth cry of footballing legend. At just 17 years and 249 days, he became the youngest scorer in a World Cup final. He did not settle for a single strike. Against Sweden, Pelé netted twice, including a volley. The Brazilian squad had landed in Stockholm only 12 hours before kickoff, running on jet lag and, in Pelé's case, a strong cup of coffee from his mother. His Puma boots were rushed by telegram from Germany, the only pair in his size, and his left ankle was secretly taped after a pre-final sprain. Brazil's first World Cup title was sealed by a teenager who, according to the team doctor's log, played through pain with the composure of a veteran. That day, a new football mythology began, one where youth did not just participate, it dominated. Number 3, Zinedine Zidane's night in Saint-Denis is the blueprint for midfield dominance on football's grandest stage. Facing Brazil, the reigning champions and FIFA's top-ranked team, Zidane delivered 2 headed goals, both from corners at the 12th minute and in stoppage time of the first half. The first came off a rehearsed wall pass sequence drilled relentlessly by coach Aimé Jacquet, while the second silenced a nation of samba drums. All the while, Zidane orchestrated France's tempo, dictating play with the calm of a chess grandmaster in a thunderstorm. His pre-final Achilles strain, taped and concealed, never showed as he glided between Brazilian lines, earning a Who Scored rating of 9.2. That jersey was switched from number 10 to number 5 after a last-minute kit mix-up. Fate, perhaps, for a man who made the game look effortless. A post-match biscuit reportedly settled his stomach, but it was his double header that settled the score and crowned a new footballing monarch. In second place, Lionel Messi's 2022 World Cup run is the modern standard for all-round dominance and leadership. 7 goals, 3 assists, and every minute played, except for his late substitution in the final. Messi was everywhere, from orchestrating play in midfield to dispatching clutch penalties under suffocating pressure. The final alone saw him score twice, including a nerveless spot kick and a finish in the 108th minute of extra time, plus an assist that split France's defense. The Golden Ball citation called out his relentless influence, but the details make it legendary. A microchipped Adidas Al Rila ball recorded his right foot spin at 2,300 revolutions per minute. His brother revealed a guitar tapping ritual before penalties to calm the nerves. Messi even played through a hidden hamstring strain, refusing treatment to avoid being substituted. His captain's armband wasn't just for show. He led maxing nearly every metric on the World Cup rubric. Only Maradona's singular 1986 magic edges him for the crown. And finally, in first place, Diego Maradona's 1986 World Cup is the gold standard for single-player domination. Against England in the quarterfinal, he packed 2 of football's most famous moments into 4 minutes. First, the cheeky hand of God punch, then the 60-yard solo slalom known as the goal of the century. Coach Bilardo's whispered pre-match challenge, "You have 5 minutes to change the world," became prophecy. Maradona finished the tournament with 5 goals and 5 assists, directly involved in 10 of Argentina's 14 goals. Altitude headaches, last-minute white boots, and 3 nights of post-match insomnia only added to the legend. Argentina lifted the trophy, and Maradona's duality, genius and controversy, became immortal. No player before or since has seized a World Cup so completely, or left the world arguing over both miracle and mischief in the same breath. Across all 10 World Cup masterclasses, one thing stands out. Football's biggest stage is where legends rewrite what's possible, sometimes with 2 headers, sometimes with 3 goals in a final. The World Cup doesn't just crown champions, it forges immortals. Which performance blew your mind? Let's debate in the comments.